So today I am going to interview Tim Balch, and I will be touching upon the reflective model, open ended questions, and I will also be talking about focused solutions. Okay, Tim, what brings you here today?
Well, I've always kind of had a problem with pyromania, setting things on fire. I guess that's what a professional would call what I do. Like I've been convicted a few times of arson, and ever since I was a little kid, it's just kind of a persistent problem I've always had.
So when did this start, and when did you learn the proper name for pyromania?
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know what it was. I just kind of liked the idea of fire. Like I would go out in my driveway and light my toys on fire, and I just thought it was, you know, kind of cool. And I wasn't getting in trouble for it. But then, when I was 9, I lit the cat's tail on fire, and like the police were called, and then I heard one of the cops talk about like pyromania, about how like it's something I might have, and that there might be medication for it. And then I don't know. It's just always been something I've always been battling with since I was a kid.
Okay, so with you starting at a very young age, did your parents notice if you had this before? Did they see that you were burning your toys inside of the home and outside of the home?
Yeah, they noticed, and like I just kind of had that stigma throughout the family. Like I was just kind of the kid that like lit things on fire. I was just that kid.
So did you feel like you were an outcast when that was going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now with you burning the tail of a cat, why was that a motivation for you?
Well, I don't know. It's just like I just had the urge to do it, and like, I didn't have any like, I started out like small with like just like toys, like action figures and different things, and then I just thought, I didn't realize that the tail was like such like a. I didn't think the tail of the cat would be any of harm to the animal, even though it totally was. I just, for some reason, as a kid, I just didn't think it would hurt it.
Mm-hmm. So why a live animal, though?
I don't know. It just felt like it was like the next step in the progression. Like I felt like my urges like were getting so much that like just doing things I'd already done, like toys and things like that, like weren't cutting it anymore.
So have you done your own personal research once seeing that the police officer identified you as a pyromaniac?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've looked into like other cases of like people who have pyromania, and they just have this fixation on fire, just kind of like what I have. Like they just think it's beautiful. Like I think fire is just this beautiful like natural thing, and like I just like seeing it. I like being able to create it. It's
okay. So what brought you in here today to speak with me?
Well, I mean, I've had like failed friendships and relationships with people, and I've you know it's hard to like keep a job when you have the urge to like set fire to things, and then like I have to like kind of control them and know that I want to keep the good relationships that I have, and then I kind of get depressed, and like I just kind of get this like urge to do it. One time I let my friend's wallet on fire at a bar, like with a cigarette lighter, and he like tried to hit me, and then there was kind of like an assault thing going on. Like the cops were called, and
would you say you're a violent person?
No, but the something about the urge that I have to set things on fire, like it kind of morphs me into this like kind of, I don't know.
Do you feel like you're a different person?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with you feeling that you're a different person, do you notice that your personality changes? Do you become angry? Are you?
Yeah.
You're becoming angry. Okay. Where have you always been angry while playing with fire?
Yeah. There's a little bit of just anger and like frustration there. my dad was a fireman, and he was almost like never home. Like I kind of wished he would like pay more attention to me, like when I was growing up, like um, and I guess I thought like at an early age that like I knew that he was a firefighter and that he put out fires like as his job.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured like if I um, set a fire myself, that he would pay attention to me.
Okay. So do you feel that your father neglected you?
I mean, like at the time, I felt that way. I mean, like you know, I guess I don't know. I mean, at the time, I felt that way. But,
Do you still feel that your father is neglecting you? Do you have a good relationship with your mother and your father and your siblings right now?
well, not really. I mean, like with all the past like incidents that I caused.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they always kind of see me as like the problem child, and
Okay. What do you feel is the problem? Other than you enjoying the form of fire, do you feel that you're very aggressive towards them because they don't understand your situation?
I'm not aggressive to them. It's just I think it's just something that I just kind of keep with me my entire life to kind of vent my emotions. Like it was always kind of like my outlet because I just kind of started doing it at a young age, and I liked the feeling when I was a kid of doing it, and then I just kind of remember how good it felt.
Now, when you feel depressed, do you close yourself off from people?
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you feel while you're depressed?
Kind of like hopelessness, like like it don't matter, or you know.
Do you do anything that will harm you while you're depressed? Do you take any medications for your depression? Um, so at this point, with your assault, do you think that that was also an outlet of your anger that was originally from your parents, or do you think that that's just something that is kind of a new thing that's happening, that it's just you see fire and you just become violent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this point, I'm seeing a lot of red flags. So with these red flags, I'm seeing that, this has happened since you were at a young age. You had hurt your pet, your cat, your pet cat. I see that you're suffering from anger. You're also you may be suffering from PTSD. This is only like an initial diagnosis of like, you could be depressed because of the traumatic experience that you had with your father, never being around, not having a strong relationship with him. So with not having a very strong relationship, I can understand where your frustration is stemming from. I do feel that you may need to convey to your parents, along with your siblings, if you have any, that you would like to have a group session with me, so that we can kind of narrow in onto why fire was a outlet for you, why you have gotten to know so much about being a pyromaniac and enjoying what it does for you. So I do feel that that's something that we could do. We can open up the doors for different forms of treatment. We can also see if we can put you on some depression medication to kind of control your depression when you don't understand why you're being neglected. You may be misunderstanding why you're being neglected. It may not be neglect. It may be just that they're busy and you don't know how to handle not having the attention on you. Also, I do want to identify that the problems that you're having within your relationships also could stem from you not knowing how to control your urge of playing with fire, along with being a little bit aggressive. So I do recommend that we kind of bring everybody in, as I said, for a group session, along with finding treatments for your anger, different outlets outside of fire, group sessions with others that are in the same situation or suffering from the same conditions. So just like I said, frustration, anger, also with poor relationships, we can do some relationship building programs. We can also try to do some activities to do some group bonding and fostering and empowering each other while you go forward in your therapy and within your treatment. Does that sound good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so next time you come in, we'll talk to your parents and we'll see what is a good way to find an outlet for us to have a open conversation and open communication so that we can find the root of where this stemmed from. Okay?
Okay.
I appreciate it and I hope to see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.